on the roof. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration is investigating the accident. The building is being torn down to make room for the future Camden Amphitheater.
A Trenton man charged with killing a popular New Jersey school teacher pleaded guilty in an agreement with prosecutors today. Marlon Chang reports on how a reckless sex act turned deadly.
19-year-old Joel Wayman Winrow Jr. said he never meant to kill. He was just reckless. The prosecutor agreed, so they cut a deal. Today, Winrow pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter for the sexual strangulation death of 42-year-old James Semptemfelter, a popular teacher at Lawrence High School.
Well, I just feel sorry that it happened, and I wish it had never happened. I just wish he never died. It's just a bad situation.
Winrow was in a porno shop 2 months ago. He was offered $400 by Semptemfelter to perform oral sex, so they went to the teacher's home and did just that. Later, Semptemfelter placed a noose over his own neck and asked Winrow to pull. It's part of a sex act known as oxygen deprivation, aimed at enhancing orgasm.
And what happened? He passed out. And when he passed out?
Their church has been under siege from vandals. Farland Chang reports.
This one came through here.
These are just a few of the dozens of rocks that vandals have thrown at St. Bartholomew's Roman Catholic Church in the past year.
I felt just disappointment that people could just be that low. And I wondered what in the world would make them set them off like that.
The fence around the church and the bars around the windows are the church's latest response. Also, windows were sealed after burglars stole a TV and a VCR. Then 2 weeks ago, Father Paul, who lives alone in the rectory next door, suffered a stroke. Some say it came from the stress.
It takes a toll on you, doesn't it? And in time, it took a toll on him.
We are determined to put an end to these acts.
So tonight, parishioners are asking Camden police for help. They want the police to establish a presence in the neighborhood.
There is the enemy. It's drugs.
The police say they do not have enough manpower to go it alone, so they are asking church members to help out and to serve as role models in crime prevention programs. The church on Keynes Avenue and Clover Street is surrounded by unemployment, vacant homes, and drug trafficking.
Stop what's going on and then work toward improving the overall human condition in this area, especially where the juveniles are concerned.
And what's the key to doing that?
A lot of work. We need some volunteers.
Would we be willing to do what, to work with the police?
It is a sign of the times when people who try to do good for others have so much bad done unto them. But parishioners here say it is a test of their faith to continue doing their work, even if it requires help from the police. In Camden, New Jersey, Farland Chang, the 10 o'clock news.
2 military jets collided above a training ground today at Fort Indiantown Gap. Both pilots managed to walk away uninjured.
Literally, hundreds of small explosive devices called railroad torpedoes have been stolen and are now being sold on the streets of Trenton to children. Farland Chang has that story.
If it goes off in your hand, it's going to take a part of your hand with it.
These are just a handful of the explosives that police have recovered from young children in Trenton. There could be hundreds more for sale on the street. One device equals 1/4 of a stick of dynamite. One device caused a 7-year-old boy to suffer 3rd-degree burns.
He hit it with a brick, and it actually went off and burned his hands and burned part of his face. It doesn't have to be lit. It can be dropped, it can be stepped on, it can be literally squeezed into exploding.
The explosives are called railway torpedoes because they make loud blasts when crushed by a train's wheels. They have long been used on railroad tracks in emergencies as a warning signal. Police suspect the devices may have been stolen from a storage shed or a boxcar, perhaps by teenage vandals or by junkies combing the tracks. Police believe the explosives are being sold to young children on the street, 5 for $1, a cheap thrill that could easily turn into a bloody accident.
Everybody want them because they think it's fun to have games, play around with them, because it's starting to hit summertime.
Yesterday, an 11-year-old student here at Hedgepath Williams Junior High was caught with 3 explosives in his backpack. He was suspended. He told police he bought them from a friend. Today, this student told his teacher that he received about 100 explosives for free from a junkie in the neighborhood. The boy turned in his torpedoes, but he says many others have not.
Don't use them. They don't want to get their hands or fingers blown off. Don't use them.
Police are asking anyone with information to call 911 before a child's game turns into a child's nightmare. In Trenton, New Jersey, Farland Chang, the 10 o'clock news.
A line of thunderstorms battered the Delaware Valley tonight.
An autopsy revealed that Ham died of smoke and soot inhalation. Ham disappeared while driving to work. Investigators have no suspects in her murder.
A high school student and his 20-year-old friend are in jail tonight, charged with murdering a Montgomery County senior citizen for less than $100. As Farland Chang reports from Collegeville, police caught the pair after learning that one of them had robbed the victim months ago.
Police say 20-year-old Michael Wheeler used an aluminum bat to beat to death an elderly man who once hired him to mow the lawn. It happened 5 days ago at the home of the victim, 73-year-old Richard Kerr. The retired carpenter in Lower Providence Township lived alone. His family found his body yesterday.
It was a savage attack with really a disregard of human life.
The DA says Wheeler and a 16-year-old accomplice, Aaron John Eckert of Birdsboro, robbed and killed the man, all for just $78 and an old pickup truck.
They got through a cellar door that was open, crept up, and while he was watching television in his own living room, he was bludgeoned to death with his bat.
Authorities tracked down Wheeler based on police records. They show that just 3 months ago, Wheeler had stolen $200 from Mr. Kerr, but Kerr never pressed charges because he got his money back.
And apparently, they felt that this guy was an easy mark, went back again.
I think the kid was on dope.
Neighbors say Wheeler was known for having drug problems. He once lived here on Yerkes Road, and his mother still does. As for Kerr, he was known as a lonely man who helped others out.
People that needed a place to sleep, you know, or something like that. And, so, I mean, he didn't do it often, just every once in a while.
Police say Wheeler called his mother and told her he screwed up. He also called his ex-girlfriend, admitting that he beat the man. Those sources helped police capture Wheeler in Binghamton, New York. The teenager was later found in Susquehanna Borough. Both are charged as adults with first-degree murder. The prosecutor might seek the death penalty. In Lower Providence Township, Farland Chang, the 10 o'clock news.
President Clinton says a new abortion clinic blockade law will end what
Remember the talking storybooks in Zoo Keys that unlock the wonders of the natural world? Well, they're back. Talking storybooks and Zoo Keys are the fun way to learn about all the animals in today's Philadelphia Zoo. Bring along your...
Maybe at the heart of a shooting spree in a Florida office building that left 2 people...
Tradition.
We heard running and a woman. Two-way mirrors, surveillance cameras, and now microphones hidden in the ceilings. No, it's not a top-secret military base. It could be your neighborhood fast food or convenience store. As Farland Chang reports, the threat of crime means someone may be watching and listening as you're eating.
Running a 24-hour Dunkin' Donuts shop has its risks, so the owner of this shop in Pleasantville, New Jersey, purchased a security system. There are 4 video cameras. One looks like a smoke detector. There is also a microphone on the ceiling. It can record conversations of customers and employees. But some customers are concerned that their private words over coffee and donuts are being overheard.
It's kind of a joke, but it is an invasion of privacy. I mean, if I'm sitting at the booth talking to somebody, I don't want anybody knowing my business.
Even the head office of Dunkin' Donuts says the use of audio recorders violates company policy, but store owners still use them.
We're only trying to do what we can to protect our businesses, to properly monitor the premises, and to make sure that things are moving along smoothly.
Wendy Pasquarello owns the Dunkin' Donuts down the road in Northfield. She also has the same security setup. One company that sells that setup says it is part of a trend. That company sold 500 systems throughout the Northeast in the last 5 years. Of those, about 300 had audio units. Dunkin' Donuts is its biggest customer.
We don't use this video system in any way other than a deterrent.
Federal law requires stores to post signs telling customers they might be monitored. The American Civil Liberties Union wants bigger signs, but it does reluctantly approve of the security gear. Customers give a mixed reaction.
It's nobody's business if I come in to get a cup of coffee and have some bite to eat. I don't want anybody to know what I'm talking about.
Common criminal will probably come in here and see this sign, see all the cameras, they change their mind.
The clash between privacy and security will likely continue, but that will not stop store owners from using these surveillance systems. Not as long as crime continues to be a threat. In Pleasantville, New Jersey, Farland Chang, the 10 o'clock news.
Coming up, the Philadelphia School District passes a new budget with millions of dollars in cuts included.
We'll go down to the Jersey Shore to find out how Wildwood is gearing
you.